Hello and welcome to the show.
Hello.
Hello. Anyway, gentlemen, will you fuck off? We all need to read that.
I want to have a look at it.
It's our weekly roundup.
He needs to know what happened in the news.
Even the baldy what happened.
Anyway, go on.
This is not news.
China happened.
Yeah, China did happen.
China was fantastic. We have been so lucky this year at the start of the Formula 1 season.
It was a 100% race for 40% of the race.
There was more than 40% of race.
Well, like the first 20 odd laps were diabolical.
No, they were great because Hamilton wasn't leading anything. Yeah. Actually, before we go any further, once again I was correct in saying Lewis Hamilton wouldn't be on pole.
I mean,
that's 3 from 3, lads.
It's a topsy-turvy year, and credit to you, Finton. Credit to you.
You will eventually be wrong. Sooner rather than later, I think.
Today is not that day.
Today is not that day, no. Or Sunday. Saturday wasn't that day.
No.
Or Sunday.
Whatever. So what did you think of the Chinese Grand Prix?
I thought it was great.
Thoroughly entertained.
Fucking fantastic.
It was. It was a slow burner, actually. And then all it needed was the safety car to go bang.
Yes.
No, all it needed was 2 Toro Rossos to go bang.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the safety car.
Yeah. Lovely car. 7 seconds a lap faster than last year.
It is beautiful. But is it fair?
Yes.
Safety car.
Vettel's not happy with it. He reckons it's very unfair with having the full safety car. It wasn't necessary bunching up the pack.
But that's a bit ironic for him to say, considering he got lucky in Australia about with the similar thing. Like,
it was a virtual safety car that made him lucky.
Yeah, but it's a similar thing. It's still a safety car.
So should we get rid of virtual safety car? Just keep it to the old-fashioned style and bunch up the pack.
No, I think there is times for both. Like you saw there, the marshals, they were running out sweeping and like running back in whenever the safety cars come in. So what I'm saying is, where it is as well is that cars come fucking flying in there, so the marshal can't stand far enough off the track to not risk
That's a dangerous corner.
You get killed by like 2 F1 cars.
I'd propose have a full safety car every race at any random point.
Easy on there, Bernie. Easy on there.
I know it's a Bernie idea, but lads, fuck it. It was unreal.
Well, no, the problem is, right, is that if you had the 2 leaders just
random safety car time.
just past the pit, just past the pit, and then all of a sudden the safety car comes out. Like, that's no.
That'd be a great idea. Imagine having a China every weekend. Oh my god.
Nico Hulkenberg might win a race.
No.
Even he wouldn't manage that. It'd be 1 car in track and he'd still come second.
7th.
No, 4th. Off the podium anyway. But the FIA issued a warning to Haas about dangerous bodywork flying off their car.
Look, do we want to see cars retiring because they've got a bit of flail and bodywork? It's a load of bollocks.
I want to come back. Like, this has been an issue since Haas have come into the sport, because in their first season,
do you
remember Gene Haas's fantastic quote? We seem to underestimate the influence of aerodynamics in Formula 1. Do you remember the issue with like, the front wings used to just fall off the car? That.
It was shocking.
Yeah, it was
genuinely, it was shocking.
I blame Haas CNC machines.
what they're getting at here with the Haas's bodywork is kind of maybe simplifying the cars and having less bits of aero sticking off.
If Gene Haas had his way, it'd be IndyCar.
Look, you say that, right? And then there was loads of overtaking at the weekend. Like, even before the safety car, there was loads of overtaking.
There was, but
only after the pits.
Like, did you see Sebastian Bordeaux's overtake?
Bordeaux.
Oh, an IndyCar.
It was an illegal.
He's a fine white.
Wasn't a triple overtake?
Bordeaux are usually red.
It's not red. Anyway, it was beautiful overtake. He overtook 2 guys on the outside and then undercut in the inside into a hairpin, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
It was a magnificent move.
It was.
We will never see that in Formula 1.
No, because you're allowed to overtake in the pit lane in Formula 1.
What?
Dead silence. Yeah. Nothing. What?
and the exit
because
you're right. So when you're coming out to the pit lane,
yes,
and if you're racing right, and
yes,
say like at Eau Rouge, and you're coming up Radion, you can cut into the pit lane to overtake somebody if you wish.
Yeah,
you can't do that in IndyCar. That's why you got a penalty, because you're not allowed to go into pit exit in IndyCar.
I don't know what your point is.
Bourdais got a penalty.
He got a penalty for the overtake.
I seen a 10-second clip of the overtake. I seen nothing else.
Yeah. I saw that.
Why would we watch an IndyCar race?
I saw the overtake and I was like, wow, and then it kept scrolling.
That was it. On Facebook.
You're just complete fucking like, what?
We didn't watch the race.
He got penalised for it. Big upgrades coming for China. A lot of teams saying they're bringing stuff. Merck say they're bringing stuff. McLaren
for China.
For China. China's finished.
Sorry, Spain.
Baku.
Azerbaijan.
No, it's for Spain. They're not bringing updates.
Oh,
to
they all are.
Baku. Yeah. Who do we think is going to be? Do you think it's going to cause any shake-ups in the field?
If Renault get a wee bit more power...
Renault are fine with power.
They're not.
No, they're not. Not at all.
With DRS open, none of the Renaults had a top speed close to what Ferrari had with DRS closed.
Really?
Yeah. Like the donkey in that Ferrari is something fierce this year.
There's one thing coming in Spain. Apparently, there's harder compounds coming.
Really?
Apparently, they're making all the tires there's harder tire compounds coming.
Why though?
Because apparently Mercedes complained.
Ugh, whingy bastards! And it's not going to help their overtaking. It's the dirty airs their issue. Like,
it'll help their pace though.
They can't follow.
No, they can't follow.
No, they're terrible.
In China, every other car was able to follow by about 1.2 seconds without sliding around, but the Merc was sliding around at about 1.5 seconds by another car. It was shocking.
Cat altogether.
It was shocking.
It was elected to lead, not to follow.
God almighty.
That's woeful. But what do we think? Josh's balls dropped finally. What do we think of Leclerc's performance in China?
Very poor.
That was god awful. He had a bad Bahrain as well.
He had a bad Bahrain. He's letting me down. I was saying it over the weekend. He's not performing how I thought he would.
He likes to spin.
He's spinning in every qualifying session.
Yeah.
It's like, you think he'd be used to the torque of the engine.
You
At
would.
this stage, like, he's tested for them.
Question.
No.
We have two rookies now, Leclerc and Shrotkin.
Yeah.
Who's doing better?
Srotkin. Srotkin's finished the races that hasn't been his fault. Well, I suppose Stroll, or who's ahead in the championship?
It's very close.
Leclerc's actually ahead of.
Well,
they're both on 0 points.
Williams have had the worst start their year to this year ever.
Great. Well,
it's their worst start to a Formula 1 year ever. Their best finish, I think, is 14th.
Something to that effect, yeah.
Yeah, so well done to Williams, and also happy birthday to Frank Williams. It was his birthday today. On what date is it today?
16th.
The 16th of April.
Happy birthday,
and
Frank.
Well done on having your worst start to a Formula 1 season.
Oh, well, Claire runs the team now.
Keep it up.
So.
Yeah, it's not Frank's team anymore, it's Claire's.
She's just a puppet, so they keep saying on Reddit.
The team under Frank was fantastic.
The team under Frank won races.
It did. And
they
championships.
22% of the championships they entered, they won.
Excellent. But
moving on.
Moving on. No, I was actually going to say, Srotkin impressed me at the weekend.
Yeah.
He did an extra pit stop to Stroll and only finished 0.7 of a second behind him.
Yeah, but I think that says a lot more about how bad Stroll is than how good Srotkin is.
But Stroll didn't have to rely on Felipe Massa's tutelage last year, apparently.
Oh,
according to Stroll himself.
No, Stroll is whinging. Stroll wants out, because if he stays with Williams for the rest of the year, we'll never see him in Formula 1 again.
No, he's got an awful annoying face as well.
He does.
He's very punchable.
He is.
Well, have you seen his father?
Yeah.
No.
Even more punchable.
Really? He's an
really?
awful cunt.
Jesus, man, easy on there.
An awful cunt.
I don't even know the fella.
No,
He's just not very likeable.
What? Actually, let's get something very controversial out.
Go on.
The elephant in the room. Let's get it out. Let's unveil it.
Dick.
Your shorts. Stand up.
No.
Come on.
See.
Stand up.
I'm not standing
Get
up.
up.
You fuck off. even worse than my shorts.
Okay.
Your sense of humour.
Max Verstappen.
Max is brilliant for the sport.
He's a fucking clown.
You know,
Christian Horner came out and said today what I said to you lads in the group chat at the weekend. He is behaving a lot like how a young Vettel behaved. Like, young Vettel did cause an awful lot of accidents, a lot of and taking out his teammate.
Yeah, but like
more than once.
Like, no, the time they took each other out in Turkey 2010, Webber and Vettel, though it was Vettel's fault.
Yeah, it was Vettel.
Yeah. But Hamilton did give him a great taste of his own medicine.
Oh, it was lovely.
It was fantastic. And but I think 90% of other drivers now will think twice about, if you see Max coming, do you want to are you going to crash?
Yeah.
Do you want to crash, or do you want to concede the place and carry on?
Well, at the weekend,
I don't think so.
It was a strange scenario, because Sebastian came out and Sebastian did say in the post-race interview that he had opened the door to let Verstappen pass, but Verstappen didn't overtake him as quick as he thought he would.
No, Verstappen seemed to lock up slightly and understeer into the side.
He locked his rears.
Where Ricciardo probably wouldn't have.
There was a tailwind as well at the back of the straight that blew him on into him.
Possibly.
And it was a case of Sebastian said, like, they both acknowledged, like, Verstappen said it was his fault. Vettel said, yeah, it's his fault, but look, it could happen anybody. Like this is because it was a very difficult situation. Vettel acknowledged that he left enough of a gap there to basically advertise the space to Verstappen.
But Vettel was furious in the moment.
Oh well, because
he came on the radio and he was like, "Hey, I have nothing to say about that."
No, he says I don't think we need to say anything
more
about that. To be fair to Vettel as well, though, he didn't fucking flip off the handle. Like he knew it was a case of somebody could do something stupid like that.
Verstappen did flip off the handle though. If you heard him on the radio straight after the move, he was saying that Vettel locked up and crashed into him. I was like, you're a fucking idiot.
How many drivers do that?
That's just stupid,
right.
though.
What I will remind people of, right? Singapore 2013, or maybe it was 2012. I think it was 13.
Was it? What happened?
Michael Schumacher drove right up James' arse.
That's 12.
Yeah, it was 12. Okay then. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like that was a man with 7 World Championships at 42 years of age, arguably the greatest of all time. Managed to do something stupid. Like, yes, he's done stupid things, but you do. People are saying, it's his 4th season in F1. You can't really count a Toro Rosso that was desperate.
No,
like his 4th season, he effectively had no accidents. There's only really this past half.
What's happened to him is he's got too hot-headed.
But you do get hot-headed, okay? Because you're in an underperforming car and you've got a chance to win a Grand Prix.
Yeah,
you're gonna. You think this is the only chance. I've got a chance to pass Seb now, okay? I've got 3 more guys up the road that I need to overtake. I'm taking it now, and I'm going now. So what you do, you panic, okay?
He did panic, yeah. But I think that's something that, like, it will come with age. Like, people are saying, Danny Rick wouldn't have done that. But as Christian Horner also rightly pointed out after the race, like, Danny Rick's 8 years older than him. Like, he's 8 years of racing experience under his belt.
But if we convert over to Danny Rick's move on Bottas into turn 6,
you wouldn't put...
If Bottas left the same amount of room Seb left, there was going to be an accident.
What do you mean?
I mean, Danny Rick was not getting that car stopped in time unless he was going by Bottas.
Yeah.
Okay. So if Bottas placed it on the apex, there was an accident.
No, if you rewatch it, Ricciardo's hard on the brakes, and then he lifts off. And,
he goes for it again.
He lets it roll in. He could have stopped. it.
No, he would have.
Don't think so.
He let it go back in.
No, he lifted his foot off because he would have got understeer. Otherwise, he wanted to lift off oversteer for the car.
Potentially.
Yeah, no, he did because it would allow the weight transfer back forward.
But I don't think so, because I think when you're racing, most of these overtakes, it's like the one on Hamilton. Like you just kind of like trail brake it into the braking zone rather than go hard in. Like you brake initially and then let it trail in, and then run wide on the exit.
No, there was no. You don't trail brake in the Formula 1.
This guy over here.
No way would you trail brake in the Formula 1 car.
111 Grand Prix under your belt. Trail brake.
You want to tell Max how to do it.
Max how to stop being a fucking wanker.
You're just hard.
My voice broke. There we go. I'm okay now.
Your heart's broke just because Hamilton hasn't won a race yet.
Mercedes haven't won a race yet.
Mercedes haven't won a race yet.
The thing about it is,
yet their gap in the Constructors Championship,
they're leading.
Ferraris. Yeah. How they're leading the.
But another thing is, Lewis, despite his torrid start to the season, he's only 9 points behind Vettel.
Yeah, but yesterday had a lot to do with it as well.
Lewis
has had nobody crash into him yet.
Yeah, but
he got a wee tip.
But like I've said, I know you'll disagree, but I think luck across the season levels itself out a bit.
No such thing as luck, but anyway,
it levels itself out a bit.
No, it doesn't.
It
does. No, it doesn't.
Vettel getting lucky in Australia, he got unlucky in China.
So hang on, let's just go back.
That's not luck.
So Rosberg thoroughly deserved his championship as the luck levelled out across the season.
He did deserve his championship.
Thank you.
Did he deserve it in merit or luck?
On everything.
No, he beat Lewis.
Beat Lewis fair and square.
There's the first time he's ever said that in camera.
The luck was level.
I said it to you the other night.
You were pissed though.
Yeah, you were full. But anyway, do we think we should see lollipop men back in Formula 1? No.
Well, can one man
or woman
you said lollipop man, can a lollipop person
lollipop gender fluid
manage, how many people is there involved in a pit stop now?
16, yeah. So hold on,
there's no way one set of eyes can monitor that.
Yeah, 16 because you
efficiently.
You can.
Technology is capable of doing this better.
No, it's not, because it's got what to do is to use a torque on each gun, and the torque, once the torque reaches a certain like once it shows that's tightened on each wheel, which can go wrong.
No.
Then the light goes on and then they go.
No.
Whereas a lollipop man can check. No, listen, a lollipop man can check every corner, and as soon as a hand is raised to say we're good,
is that going to
that's fine.
Hold on there, no, John. Let me look at
Is that on tight now? Get the wheel brace.
It's true.
It's not true.
It is true.
No,
it is fucking true.
A human will not with a lollipop man. You will not have pit stops sub 2 seconds.
No.
And safe.
No.
Then what's your? What are you getting at?
The lollipop man can't see pit side wheels.
No, but the people on each wheel will know if the wheel's on or not.
Yeah, but look, the mechanics knew the wheel wasn't on the last day. But if it was on the opposite side of the car, the lollipop man would have let the car go as well, because he can't see. Think about it, right? The lollipop man has to stand in the pit lane to make sure he doesn't cause an unsafe release. So he stands like this, waiting to see, and he's like looking at the car, and he's like, right, go.
Yeah, but he's also checking each corner.
He can't see the other corners.
But if there's something wrong, one of the mechanics on one of the wheels will let him know.
No. The person who's best qualified to say whether the wheel is on or not is the person who's putting on the fucking wheel.
Yeah, so and then they alert the lollipop man.
That's why they have a button on their gun to say when they're finished.
No, it's not.
But it's not. No. Some of the teams have it
at the back of the grid.
Yes,
big teams.
So that should become mandatory to have that. Every wheel gunner should have the switch to OK each corner, and when that's done, then your light goes green. Then you have an overwrite for the guys doing the safe release.
No, what I think it should be is a case of use machine vision technology, because at the moment, so paint you have your two,
like Hawkeye,
similar. So you have two lines either side of the car.
Oh, everyone must be stood
Everybody
back.
has to be behind the line.
That's brilliant. Yeah, that could work.
If everybody's behind the line, the light can go green. Otherwise, it can't.
Have we too many? Is there too many chefs?
No.
Too many mechanics working on the car. 16. It's a lot.
It is.
Even with guys getting hit.
How many people got hit last season?
I don't know.
Nobody really. Like, it's only happening this season because teams are rushing the pit stops. They're not having their head in the game.
But so if we're doing this, should we have everyone behind these lines before the car is stationary, and after the car is stationary, then you can go within the lines?
No, you can go within the lines at any stage, because the light's going to be red when you're coming in anyway.
Yes, but
wheel people can be anywhere. But for the light to be able to go
but
green,
if we're here to increase safety, should we be doing that? Like,
no.
Safety's the key.
Well, no, it's not going to cause an issue.
Like, we can replace the mechanic very easily.
No, but
the disposable items.
Right, it's the car taking off is the dangerous part.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Hamilton.
How many? No, if you consider how many crashes.
What's Hamilton done?
Has Hamilton
he hit his front Jackman a few times.
They
all do it.
Yeah,
occasionally.
Hamilton's done it more occasionally in my memory. But anyway,
any chance to poke the bear.
But coming into the pit stop, right? How many accidents do you see versus cars leaving the pits? Negligible. So what I'm saying,
I'd say they're fairly equal.
No, there's a lot more issues with people not fitting tires right. You never.
You
never see a car coming in with a tire off.
Yes, but as in when it comes to injuring people.
Yeah, but see, coming in, no, not really. It's still taking off because the car slips sideways and usually catches the jackman or something to that effect, or catches the wheelman.
Are we unanimously saying no to minimum pit times?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
Jesus.
No, minimum pit times is stupid. Well, you're going to have minimum race times as well.
It's one of the...
Well, we do have minimum race.
Maximum race times.
It's one of the suggested...
So basically take something that even Formula E decided as a shit idea.
It is a shit idea.
It's like, fuck it, do you know what, lads? We'll have car swaps next just because why not?
Take back refueling.
No. Refueling would be horrible.
Refueling ruined racing, but everybody thinks it's different. It did. There was more processions with refueling than there is now.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
It was shit racing altogether.
It was terrible.
On the talk of fuel and engines and whatnot, apparently the FIA has to declare by the end of May their intentions for the engines.
For 2021.
They want it. Time's pushing on.
Well, that's it. Right?
You know, the talk even about the aero changes for next year.
Well, if the aero changes are to be implemented for next season, they have to be agreed unanimously by every team by the last day of April.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's not happening.
It's not happening. No,
and it's Frank's birthday party tonight, so
it's
Ricciardo Patrici's tomorrow.
Jesus, it's a big session this week, isn't it?
What did we actually make of Vettel's cut on Räikkönen at turn 1? At the very start of the race, it was very aggressive.
Well, it was aggressive, but it was fair.
How many times did Hamilton do it to Rosberg and vice
a
versa?
lot. I'm not saying it wasn't fair. I'm just saying a lot of people are saying it was a bit unfair. But
would you have been better off? Look, if Räikkönen had a poor start,
he did.
He was slow off the grid. Was there? I'm sure there had to have been a team briefing before what was going to happen at the start.
Go fast,
because China's notorious. If you have a bad start and if you're poor into turn 1, you can get absolutely destroyed. You can drop 3 or 4 places down the grid, if not more. So should there have been team orders implemented?
There was team orders implemented.
Yeah, so
Vettel wins the race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's blatant, obviously. The way Ferrari is treating Kimi is horrendous.
No, it's how they've treated every number 2.
It is,
when you sign up to be a number 2 driver at Ferrari, you know what you're signing up for.
It's still horrendous, okay?
It's not horrendous.
It is.
It's how they've always, like, their contracts even say that you're the number 2.
Let's just say then it's stupid, because Kimi is actually on form this year. Kimi has a chance to win a championship. He's definitely going to aid them in winning a Constructors Championship. So why not hedge your bets?
They won't win the Constructors.
They're putting all their eggs in one basket, the same way they did with Schumacher the year Irvine nearly won the championship.
Nico Rosberg said after the race that Ferrari will not win the Constructors Championship by doing that to Räikkönen. Because they threw away 2 positions easily for Räikkönen there. Like, they're throwing away points easily there. Like, but see, they used Räikkönen for a tiny chance of Vettel winning the race.
It's a load of bollocks.
It was a stupid move.
What would you have done with Räikkönen? Because if they had pitted him then,
they should have pitted the 2 drivers straight away. They would have had a second and a third.
Second and third
won the race.
Second and third rather than the first and the fifth or a first and the sixth.
Yes,
it's better for the team.
So what you're saying then is, as a Hamilton fan and as a Senna fan, don't win a race if you can possibly win it. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm talking about the team.
The team should be for the constructor.
Team aside, does it look better in their resume to have a win or a second and a third?
Well, obviously it looks better to have a resume, but at the end of the season,
what looks better, a race win in China or a championship?
No, I agree, but what I'm saying is is that everybody fucking whinges about the whole time. Oh, they're not trying to win races, la 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 la, fucking la. And then about every team. And then when a fucking team does try and win a race, everybody's whinging, oh, they fucked over a driver. They fucked over a driver. They thought they would get a win.
They're F1 fans. They're all whingy. So are we. We're all whingy. All F1 fans are whingy.
We wouldn't have a show if we weren't whinging.
I think this has been like, 18 videos of whinge so far.
Is it 18 videos wrong?
I feel really bad for what they did to Kimi. I forget the original point.
It's like we were asking what we thought about the chop at the corner. If the 2 of them went in straight line,
so what I'm saying, so if they knew they were going to treat Kimi like shit throughout the race, why not just say, Seb, you're taking the lead into turn 1, Kimi slot into second, let's go race and let's pull out a bit of a gap.
Because they have to defend against the cars behind them. The cars behind them aren't going to sing to their
But they would have easily, if that order was put at the start of the race, Kimi would have known to not attack the inside of the corner.
Yeah,
where he had to slow down tremendously, because the way the China turn 1 is, it tightens.
Yeah, but the thing is Kimi lost speed in the second phase of the start, whereas if he'd maintained his speed, he would have helped block out the marks as well, and they'd have been running 1-2.
Bottas launched off the line.
He did, yeah.
I think Bottas would have got second regardless.
Yeah, Bottas had a phenomenal start.
Yeah, he did launch off the line.
He did, and he has had good starts now. Like, he had a good start in Bahrain as well.
He's a good starter. He's finished. There's nothing going on in his mind apart from staring at lights.
No, apart from look, you don't stare.
Look, but never stare. That was it.
Bottas completely outdrove Lewis in China.
He did.
His outlap during the undercut on
it was
Vettel,
phenomenal.
It was a beast of a lap.
It was a 3-second deficit in the telemetries.
Yeah. But Ferrari's pit stop was also 7 tenths slower than Mercedes on
8 tenths
or something like that.
Yeah, it was around, I think it was 7 or 8. But yeah, he made up like a second anyway.
Yeah, and his outlap was just phenomenal. He got them medium tyres going very quickly.
He did.
He's had a very good start to the season. So ever since his crash in qualifying in Australia, he's had a very good start.
He did shit Australia, but since he's been very good.
Yeah. But he
But is this more credit to him? You know, the only reason he had a shit Australia is because the Mercedes is very bad in the dirty air. We thought Mercedes power alone.
No, he crashed in qualifying. So it's all
he crashed in qualifying, but we thought the power alone of the Mercedes should be good enough to get him up to at least 4th.
No, I never said that. Not about Australia. You can't overtake in Australia. We've always known that. Even the cars 2 years ago couldn't overtake there. It's very difficult to overtake in Australia.
But you can.
You can overtake in Monaco, but it's very difficult as well.
Yeah, which like fuck it, you have to throw it on some stage, like, you know.
Post it. The thing is, Hamilton had a very poor China. And he does this occasionally. He has every now and again. He's a very shit weekend. Like Russia last year, he was shocking.
He said he thinks his championship might be over already.
He just plays.
He's just a fucking whinge.
He just plays with media things. Hamilton will bounce back all of a sudden.
You never know.
He will bounce back.
If he spirals, it'll be fucking hilarious at the same time. If Bottas went on to win this championship, I would take some laugh at the pair of you. Give it out about him the whole season.
He won't.
Actually, can I just say, on a previous podcast we were talking about Red Bull's race pace.
Yeah.
And you said they were nowhere. You said it was obvious where they were, but where? And I said there was no chance we could tell where Red Bull were.
We still can't tell where they are.
No, the pace, the three Ferrari, Mercedes and Red Bull
very close.
Had equal race pace.
But the Red Bull will softer tyres.
Red Bull will continue to qualify on the 3rd row. and they won't win a championship qualifying in the third row.
But Red Bull were also on softer tyres with less distance on them compared to everybody else around.
Yes,
them. And they still struggled to overtake. They still struggled to overtake an aged Bottas and Vettel. Like I still think like they're behind in the grand scheme.
They are
of things.
slightly behind, but it hasn't been. When's the last time we had 3 constructors fighting it out for a championship? It was 20.
I don't think it's 20 fighting it out for a championship.
No, Red Bull won't. The Red Bull won't stick in the fight.
Nah.
Well, if Renault brings good updates, a wee bit more power.
They brought power to China. They didn't bring much, mind you, by the looks of things.
They should. Red Bull should have had a 1-2.
They should have, like, but
their strategy was good enough.
If you're on the ball, it should be your uncle.
Well,
you can't have a 1-2 with a donkey in the
But Red Bull has the best team. They have the best team behind them. They have the 2 best drivers. They have the best team principal.
I still think
and they have the best strategists.
They definitely have the best strategists. But I still think Ricciardo's a bit overrated. No. I'm not saying Verstappen's better than him, but I still think Ricciardo's a bit overrated.
The thing is,
They have 2 drivers that can overtake in an era of Formula 1 where it's very difficult to overtake.
I don't buy into this whole thing about Ricciardo being like one of the greats. He's not, but he's a very good driver.
Yeah,
he's brilliant. Like, he is brilliant, but he's not one of the greats. Like, he's not a Hamilton or a Vettel.
No. But he is better than Mark Webber. Van Dorn, another shit weekend.
Apparently his floor was loose.
It was less shit.
Floor was loose.
Apparently, I was reading online. Apparently his floor was loose during the race. Now that explains it.
It would help explain it, but it's not been an impressive season.
No, it's not. It's been poor.
Same with McLaren.
Yeah.
Well, like, they're doing better than last year, but come on.
They're still ahead of Renault in the constructors.
Will they stay ahead though? No.
If you're ahead of the team that's supplying your engine,
no, that's good.
That's nothing to be sniffed at. Like,
no, that's good. But like,
I think Renault will beat McLaren.
They will
this year.
Because Hülkenberg's plugging away consistently. Sainz is a bit of a letdown.
Sainz is struggling. Sainz is going to cop himself on.
Sainz nearly got Vettel on the last lap though.
Yeah, Vettel was going backwards.
He was. His floor was damaged.
Did you see Hülkenberg going down the back straight? No hands.
Yeah,
that was last year.
Was it last year?
There's no fucking halo in the onboard.
I'm severely disappointed at that.
I was like, how did you not realise that? Like,
that wouldn't click with me.
The best. And
it was also a different shade of yellow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry.
Not shiny.
Not shiny.
How you fucking read it on Iraq? It was a different shade of yellow.
Well, it went from like fucking banana to highlighter.
They put up a video of Hülkenberg in China with no hands a couple of hours after the Chinese Grand Prix.
He had
I was
hands,
thinking
they just weren't in the wheel. Haas. Oh, Kevin Magnussen.
Kevin Magnussen had a very good race.
Yeah, what do we think about Kevin Magnussen's race?
Solid.
It was very solid, you know. He's battering away.
What did you think of Grosjean's race? Go on. Use colourful language.
I haven't much to comment on Grosjean's race.
He hadn't much of a race.
He hadn't much of a race.
He didn't do anything. He's saying he got unlucky with the safety car.
He was yapping after lap 6 when K-Mag told him to let him go.
K-Mag told him.
Well, K-Mag told his principal, who told your man told Grosjean's principal, and then there was some discussion, and then it was decided let's let K-Mag go after he was fucked in Bahrain up the hole.
Oh my god!
By that cunt.
He gave out about lap 6 already, and then 2 laps later he was like,
and Grosjean was on. It's only fucking lap 6. It was like, you've dropped 2.5 seconds to Carlos Sainz, and you're only 6 laps in. Cop yourself on. Now look. K-Mag didn't do a whole lot better, but at least he maintained a 2.5 second gap. He persevered. But let's talk about Haas's strategies. Renault went for the undercut, and Haas then decided, okay, we'll stay out. And the Renaults were dropped out into a lot of traffic. It was behind Stroll, behind Sirotkin, and in a mix with a few Saubers.
Stop blaming stitching your trousers.
3 laps later, it looked like Haas had stayed out long enough to create that 22-second gap to possibly come out in front. Did they leave them? Did they pit them? No. They kept them out for another 12 laps. It was just pointless. They seemed to be in a race. They were underestimating how quick they were. They were watching Perez. They were racing the Force Indias when they were actually in a race with Renault. They could have beat the Renaults, but their strategy was very poor.
I don't think they have the pace to beat the Renaults.
No, but if the strategy is right, the strategies are so important these years. And days.
And strategy's always been important.
It's so crucial these days because overtaking and the pace of the car is a lot less important than it was.
Red Bull took a risk at the weekend. It paid off brilliantly for them. like Mercedes and Ferrari thought like staying out was actually better, because obviously when you look at the first 20 laps of the race,
it's really awful giggly here for no reason.
Yeah.
Continue.
looking at how,
because I'm just talking pony.
Yes,
I'm talking pony for the last 20 odd minutes.
That's 18 episodes.
Yeah. So like,
cut.
So that's it for this week. As you'll discover later on in this week, Josh is our current Formula 1 flop for this week because he didn't fucking make an episode, huh?
I tried.
You tried.
I failed.
You did fail.
So if you've watched all of this, which I highly doubt,
our retention's going up.
No, not for long.
Not for long. Jeez, after this.
Anyway, sorry for tuning in, and be sure to listen in for the next episode.
And like
and subscribe.